I'm so glad to see you tonight. Several people have asked us how the meeting went in Washington, D.C. Our young people are standing, they're going to sing. I'm looking forward to Resolve Ensemble singing in just a moment. But we had a wonderful, wonderful gathering. About 200 pastors, maybe a tick over 200. I don't know the exact number, but came from 45 different states of America and assembled there at the Independence, or the Independent Baptist Church. Is it in Clinton, Maryland? Our graduate, Brother Michael Creed, is the pastor there, and met there. We got a briefing on Monday night, and kind of told us what the plan was to do. 2 weeks ago, churches sent and sponsored. Last year, they sponsored a Bible project. Many years ago, in late 1700s, Congress authorized the first printing of a Bible, the King James Version Bible, in the United States of America in 1792, I believe. And so men of God got together and they published a replica of that very Bible and gave one to all 431 congressmen and the 100 senators with their name in a gold plate on the bottom of the Bible. Very beautifully done. And we can't take it into them because and it can't be a personal gift because it costs more than $50. That's the ethics rule. And so we had the opportunity to send it from the publisher, Grace Christian Living from Tacoma, Washington. Brother Mark Smith is the one who actually did the project there. We sent it to every one of them and was delivered to their offices 2 weeks ago. So we got to go in and see them with the purpose of telling them officially, you received that Bible, and it was sponsored by churches like ours who wanted to give that to you as a free publication for you. And and then we'd like to just sit down with you and just tell you how much we appreciate what God used you to do. We realize you're a minister of God for good. And we thank you for representing your constituents. And then, is there anything we can pray with you about? We scheduled appointments for each of these people and had the joy of going and seeing them. We saw two of our senators, Senator Coates and also Senator Donnelly, and then got to see Pete Vysotsky, who will be with us on Sunday. He'll be in our services on Sunday, and sit down with them and their staffers. And the Lord just did some really sweet things. And we saw 3 people, but actually 4. But each of our pastors got to see numbers of people as well. But every day they get bombarded by requests. Would you fix the potholes in our street? Would you get my kid out of the Navy? Would you help me with this situation? You know, everybody gets appointments and has an agenda, and they want to tell them something they need them to do for them. And so they're used to that every 30 minutes, almost on the hour, helping somebody. And so we went there. I said, well, sir. He said, no, what do you need? What do you want? And I said, we really don't have an agenda, but just to tell you that we really appreciate you. And God commands us to honor kings and to pray for kings, and we've been doing that, and I'm going to pray for you today. Is there any special prayer requests that you might have? And one of the congressmen went like this. He goes, oh, are you kidding me? No, tell me, what do you want? I said, we don't want anything. We really want to pray with you. He goes, he looked over to his staff, his chief of staff. He goes, that's never happened before, you know. But we began to pray for him. One particular senator came. He was coming from a meeting, and we were sitting down there in his waiting room, and he walked in and said, all right, now, what do you need? And we kind of said, well, we just came to officially, the Bible you received. He goes, yeah, I got that Bible in my office. He said, that came from churches like ours with pastors like me who love you and are praying for you and praying that God will help you. So we can live a quiet and peaceable life in our country as God commands us to. And is there anything we can pray with you about? And he was kind of wanting to you could see he wanted to kind of hurry up and get through with it and go back. And I said, I can pray with you. He said, well, you know, I always need wisdom here. And he said, so yeah, just pray for wisdom. And so I prayed for him and his wife and his children and his family, and for God to give him wisdom and things of that nature. And when he got done, he goes, wow. He said, come on back to the office. So we went on back to the office. He went to the office. He showed us the office, and then he started explaining some things. And then he said, these are my staff right here. You guys stand up. And he said, I said, could I give them all the New Testament and the gospel tract? He said, yeah, all of them. Give them that. And so we were able to give it to all the staffers there. There were about, 12 or 15 of them there on computers, and he made them all stand up and take that and shake our hands. And then at the end, he goes, let's get a picture. I said, yeah, not in the office here. Let's go out to the front by the flag. So we went out there. What went to be about a 3-minute meeting turned out to be a 30-minute meeting, and he was just so happy. And at the end, he said to me, after I shook his hand at the flag and took a picture, he said, he looked me in the eye and he said, Pastor, he said, your church, First Baptist Church of Hammond, everybody knows about that church. But he said, it's a better place because Hammond is a better place because your church is there. And he says, I understand that. I'm a Catholic, but I understand that. He said, I thank you for what you do for that community. And I thought, what a wonderful thing. And I would never even got around to that had it not gone through all the 30 minutes of talking and things of that nature and saw God soften their hearts. I want to thank you for praying. We should pray for our government leaders, should we not? We should pray for our mayor and our councilman and those things, and our president and our senators and our congressmen. It's a lonely place up there. It's a wicked place to some extent. And everybody's pushing money, pushing people, pushing bills, pushing agendas. And oh, how we need God in Capitol Hill, and in the White House, and in my house, and your house. And we need to ask the Lord to help us with that.